Crypto Ether here, back at it again with another Bitcoin video. So let's jump right into it. Today's article reads, SEC Bitcoin ETF update deadline today, cash create versus in-kind. So guys, this deadline is today. I keep screaming at you guys, ETFs, ETFs, ETFs. So the deadline for the update is today. Let's go ahead and jump into the article and see exactly what they mean, though, right? The SEC wants to minimize the number of intermediaries in spot Bitcoin ETFs to make them a little more controllable, Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchunas said. So, as the cryptocurrency community waits the potential approval of a spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund, or ETF rather, in the United States in January, today marks a significant deadline. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission said last week that spot Bitcoin ETF applicants must file final S1 amendments by December 29th. The regulator also required them to sign an agreement with an authorized participant, or AP, and sort out the cash create redemption model it favors. So they're getting everybody to go over to this cash create model, guys. Like, we're seeing a lot of headlines surrounding that specifically, right? And most of these asset managers are just are going with it, honestly. They really want their ETFs to be approved. So let's keep going here. The deadline means that on December 29th, the community will likely find out which spot Bitcoin ETF filers out of the 14 applicants could be in the first wave of potential spot Bitcoin ETF approvals, which is largely expected in early January. According to Bloomberg senior ETF analyst Eric Balchunas, many ETF applicants have updated their filings with the cash create redemption model. As of December 22nd, 7 applicants have had their filings fixed to cash create, while the other 7 included both cash create and in-kind models in their registration statements. I mean, guys, I would think that most of them would go over to cash create. It's just safer for investors in general, if that makes any sense, right? So most existing ETFs involve in-kind creation, meaning that when the intermediaries want to make new ETF shares, they give firms like BlackRock funds using actual assets like Bitcoin. And that's how 90% of ETFs work, is in-kind. Only 10% are cash, Balchunas said in an interview with Cointelegraph on December 28th. The reason SEC wants the cash model for spot Bitcoin ETFs is that they want to minimize the number of intermediaries that have access to the actual Bitcoin in the redemption and offering process, the ETF analysts believe. They don't like the idea of broker-dealers who are the intermediaries touching Bitcoin, Balchunas added. Many were going to create unregistered subsidiaries to act in place of the actual broker details, but the SEC just didn't want it. The ETF analyst said the SEC wanted to close the loop a little more, Balchunas said, mentioning that he had also heard of regulators being worried about money laundering. He stated, "If only the people messing with the actual Bitcoin are BlackRock and Coinbase, it's a little more controllable of what Bitcoin you have. They just want a more closed system with fewer intermediaries touching the actual Bitcoin. In addition to the cash create preference, the ETF applicants must have a determined AP by today, December 29th. Last I heard, there aren't many agreements signed yet, and I think most of them will get signed," Balchunas added to Cointelegraph, adding the 2 big companies that are probably going to be the APs for everybody that are the trading giants, Jane Street and Virtue Finance. In their most recent spot Bitcoin ETF amendment filed on December 28th, ARK and 21 Shares did not specify the name of an AP. AP mentioned a ton but not named, assuming that they will probably come in a very final effective date just prior to launch, but we still don't know if they have signed an agreement, Balchunas wrote on X. So you see it here, guys. These huge asset manager companies like ARK, 21 Shares, BlackRock, all these names are getting thrown around, guys. They all are getting their ducks in a row for these ETFs, and honestly, I think most of them are going to push through here with the SEC. Now, when this happens, what does that mean for us, retail investors, I should say, right? This is just good news for Bitcoin, essentially, guys. This is very, very bullish stuff. What we're seeing here is these huge asset managers, the biggest in the world, right? BlackRock, ARK, so on and so forth, are stepping in officially to crypto. And this is huge. This is huge for not only the US and crypto, but for the world, because obviously people start to follow suit after the United States, right? So we could just see a huge mass adoption after these Bitcoin ETFs are approved, guys. So it's just something that I want to keep you guys in tune with. As more articles come out, I will keep you guys informed with them and try to explain them as best as I can so that you can digest it a little better. I know these buzzwords can get a bit confusing. A lot of people don't understand what ETFs are. So I just like to give a little bit of light to that, guys. But that being said, if you did enjoy the video today, please do smash down that like button. And then if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe for your boy. Really does help out the channel a ton, guys. I talk about Bitcoin or anything else cryptocurrency related that needs attention. We'll always cover here on the channel. So do appreciate your guys' time. Hope everybody has a good week out there. It's Crypto Ether, and I am out of here, guys. Peace.